Hey Army. Welcome back to the channel. Okay guys, grab your tissues. Seriously, because this video is not your average video. We're about to talk about a moment that millions of BTS fans around the world have been waiting for almost 2 years. A moment that makes you cry, makes you grin to yourself, gives you chills, and will probably have you hitting replay until you've memorized every single word. What is it? What did Jimin and Jungkook say when BTS celebrated their 12th anniversary? Because it's not just the celebration itself that's special. The words that came out of the mouths of these two BTS Magne members were on a completely different level. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're about to break everything down. Before we get into those heart-shaking words from Jimin and Jungkook, we need to talk. Why does BTS's 12th anniversary feel so incredibly special compared to all the years before? The answer is one word: return. June 13th, 2013. That was the date BTS debuted. 7 young men from Korea that not many people knew at the time. They debuted under a small label, with a limited budget and an enormous dream. 12 years later, they are the most influential K-pop group in the world. Grammy nominations, sold-out stadiums across the globe, and millions of armies spread from Jakarta to Los Angeles, from Cairo to Seoul. But this 12-year journey was not smooth. On top of all their career challenges, starting in late 2022, BTS members began one by one fulfilling their duty as South Korean citizens, mandatory military service. Jin enlisted first, then jhope, then RM and V, and finally Jimin and Jungkook in December 2023. For the first time in BTS history, for nearly 2 full years, the group could not perform together as a complete unit. Just think about that. 2 years without the full BTS. ARMY held on. They supported each member's solo careers. They waited patiently. And then came June 2025, the most awaited month of all. One by one, BTS members completed their military service. RM and V finished first, on June 10th, 2025. And exactly 1 day later, June 11th, 2025, it was Jimin and Jungkook's turn. And 2 days after that, June 13th, 2025, exactly BTS's 12th debut anniversary. BTS Festa 2025 officially began. Can you imagine how emotional that moment was? Wednesday morning, June 11th, 2025. Still dawn in some parts of the world, but in Korea, specifically at the Yongkyon Public Stadium in Gyeonggi Province, hundreds of armies had already been gathered since the early hours. Many had traveled long distances, and some had even flown in from overseas just to witness this moment in person. And when the gates opened, and those two figures in military uniforms appeared, each holding a large bouquet of flowers, tears and joyful screams erupted. Jimin and Jungkook walked out together, just as they had walked in together 18 months earlier. Both had served in the 5th Infantry Division Artillery Brigade of the South Korean Army. Just like their enlistment date on December 12, 2023, they also completed their service side by side. And the very first thing they did upon walking out, they gave a firm salute. Then together shouted Danjail, a Korean military call that means unity or solidarity. Picture that visual. 2 of the most famous K-pop idols in the world, still in military uniform, standing at attention and calling out with full conviction. Insane, right? That alone was enough to give you chills. But what gave even more chills was what they said next, when they faced the media and the sea of fans who had been waiting for them. Jimin, Park Jimin, BTS's lead vocalist, whose smile ARMY often calls the cure for everything. Standing before the media and thousands of fans who had waited so long for him, Jimin didn't launch straight into a long speech. Instead, he looked like he was holding back his emotions. And when he finally spoke, his words pierced the hearts of millions instantly. Thank you so much for coming all this way to see us, ARMY. But Jimin didn't stop there. He continued with a line that went viral within minutes. It's been quite a long time, since COVID-19 and then military service, so thank you so much for waiting for us. Let that sink in for a moment. It's been quite a long time, since COVID-19 and then military service. Jimin wasn't only talking about mandatory military service. He was acknowledging that this separation had been long, starting from the pandemic that prevented them from meeting ARMY in person, continuing through the hiatus and the solo era, and ending with the military. Almost 5 full years of BTS and ARMY fighting through various limitations together. And Jimin, with those simple words, seemed to embrace that entire journey in a single sentence. But he wasn't done. Jimin then said something that hinted at enormous hope for the future. It feels like we can continue painting the picture we've been painting together, and we will prepare and show you an even better side of ourselves. The picture we've been painting together. Not their picture. Not BTS's picture alone, but a picture painted together with ARMY. That was Jimin's way of affirming that BTS and ARMY are not two separate parties. They are one entity that walks forward side by side. And even after 18 months apart, that canvas of dreams was far from finished. And then Jimin said something that made everyone go quiet. If you see a soldier passing by, I would be very grateful if you could say a warm word to them. That is not the statement of an idol trying to look good on camera. That is the statement of someone who just spent 18 months being part of an institution that is often taken for granted. Jimin was asking ARMY to respect soldiers, not because he used to be one, but because he now understood firsthand how heavy that service truly is. ARMY around the world reacted immediately. Within hours, the tags #JiminIsBack and #ThankYouJimin were trending in over 30 countries. Many commented, "Jimin always finds a way to make us cry and feel proud at exactly the same time." Now Jungkook. Jungkook, BTS's golden magne. The youngest member who possesses an almost unfair amount of talent. Singing, dancing, songwriting, athletics, art. Yet in this moment, he showed up in the most human and authentic way possible. When he appeared in public for the first time after 18 months, Jungkook honestly admitted something completely endearing. "It's been so long since I last stood in front of a camera. I'm not even wearing makeup, so it feels a little strange." And that right there, was what instantly captured the hearts of millions of fans. In a moment that he could have made very dramatic or deeply emotional, Jungkook instead chose guileless honesty. He didn't pretend to be ready. He didn't pretend to be perfect. He showed up exactly as he was. A 27-year-old young man who had just walked out of a military barracks, hadn't had a chance to get his hair done or wear any makeup, but still radiated a presence that's nearly impossible to put into words. In the brief media interview he gave, Jungkook also reaffirmed his commitment to coming back with BTS. His message was simple but full of energy, that he was ready to work hard again, that he missed being on stage, and that we, BTS and ARMY, would be meeting again very soon in full capacity. And if you remember, back when he was still in the middle of his service, on his birthday in September 2024, Jungkook also appeared with a deeply touching message through the Weverse platform. "Thank you, ARMY, for sending me birthday wishes. I'm doing well. I will do my best for the time I have left in the military. I hope ARMY will be well during that time." The line, "I hope ARMY will be well," is the one that lingers most. In the middle of a demanding military posting, Jungkook still took a moment to think about the well-being of his fans. Not hoping they would still support him, but hoping they were okay. That is not an idol speaking to a fandom. That is a genuine friend. 2 days after Jimin and Jungkook officially returned, on June 13, 2025, BTS Festa 2025 was officially launched. And it was anything but an ordinary anniversary celebration. This year, BTS Festa took the theme 12 o'clock, inspired by their own song, Midnight, 0 o'clock, a song about new beginnings, about a fresh day, about the chance that always comes again when the clock strikes midnight. The theme wasn't just chosen because this is the 12th anniversary. It was chosen because 12 o'clock symbolizes a crucial moment, between one era ending and a new one beginning. And that is exactly where BTS stands right now. The offline event ran for 2 full days at Kintex 2 in the city of Goyang, a massive venue decorated with more than 20 interactive booths. There was an ARMY bomb photo spot with a giant light installation. There was a voice zone, where fans could listen to personal audio messages from each BTS member. There was a trophy zone showcasing BTS's achievements through the years. There was a BTS locker filled with items cherished by each member. And outside the venue, the main HYBE building in Yongsan was decorated with the words, "We are back," with the BTS and ARMY logos replacing the letters W and A. Not just decoration. That was a declaration. From all the members, the messages delivered at Festa 2025 truly reflected the depth of the bond between BTS and ARMY. Suga shared his honest longing. "I have spent my time waiting for the day I could meet you all again." Jhope, who was also in the middle of his Hope on the stage world tour, voiced his excitement. "We have worked hard for Festa, for you. Let's have fun." And Jimin and Jungkook, who had only just walked out of the military 2 days prior, expressed their burning enthusiasm to perform again and meet ARMY in person. Meanwhile, V wrote of the dedication he'd been pouring into preparing himself. "I'm excited. I can't wait to get back out there." These messages were not PR content. They were not lines engineered by a marketing team. They were the outpouring of 7 people who had been together for 12 years, and who knew the journey was not yet over. Even RM, the leader, delivered something deeply philosophical when he addressed ARMY at this anniversary moment. "It's because you, ARMY, love us. You say, this is who we are. Sometimes I forget, because I've been on a break for a year and a half. And even now I can't see the road ahead clearly. I just want to find it together with you." The global response to this moment was truly extraordinary. Within hours of Jimin and Jungkook completing their military service and BTS Festa getting underway, their names dominated trending topics on X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok across dozens of countries. In South Korea itself, the return of RM, V, Jimin, and Jungkook from military service became the most talked about topic across every major platform. Mainstream Korean media, from Jungang Daily to the Korea Times, covered the moment extensively. Fans worldwide celebrated in their own ways, from online live reaction sessions, to rewatching Discharge fan cams on loop, to creating tribute videos that went viral on TikTok. And the one thing fans quoted most? Jimin's line about "the picture we've been painting together" and Jungkook's disarming honesty about not wearing makeup. Because that is the true power of BTS. They never pretend. They never present themselves as untouchable figures beyond the reach of ordinary people. They show up as human beings, who feel longing, who need time to readjust, who sometimes get awkward in front of a camera, just like the rest of us. And that is exactly what makes their words so meaningful. So, ARMY, that is what Jimin and Jungkook said when BTS celebrated their 12th anniversary. Not words full of empty formality. Not lines scripted to look cool for the media, but words born from the hearts of 2 people who have walked a long road, through a pandemic, a hiatus, and military service, and who are now back with a fire that burns brighter than ever. Jimin said, "We can continue painting the picture we've been painting." Jungkook said, "I'm not even wearing makeup, but I'm here." And BTS, through their 12 o'clock theme, said to every ARMY in the world, "This is not an ending. This is a new beginning." 12 years, 7 people, millions of ARMYs, and one unfinished dream. If you're watching this video and you're part of ARMY, whether you've been along since the debut era or you discovered BTS just recently, you are part of that bigger dream. And it feels like it's time we continue that dream together, doesn't it? If this video inspired you or made you miss BTS, don't forget to like, comment what you loved most about Jimin's or Jungkook's words, and share it with a fellow ARMY. And subscribe to this channel, because we'll keep covering all the latest BTS and K-pop news for you. Until the next video, take care of yourselves, just like Jungkook always asks of his ARMY. Annyeong, Purple Heart.